What's going on, everybody? Here it is, the 8th, February 8th. 1 week basically away from Valentine's Day. I'm going to give you a rundown about Lake Fork today. Free public rundown, but it's exciting to feel like this year is going to be an epic year here at Lake Fork, with last year being so tough. First off, let me elaborate on one of Larry Barnes caught the second biggest bass in 1988, at the time anyways, from Lake Fork, in the history of Lake Fork. In 1988, he caught a 17-pound, 4.29 ounce, 17-pound, 4-ounce bass. And again, at the time, it was the second largest bass in Lake Fork history. Guide Larry Barnes, legend guide Larry Barnes. He retired several years ago. But here's the deal. Every year, February 14th is kind of the kickoff. That realm, for whatever reason, is the kickoff of big fish. And I can tell you that we're already there because in the last 10 days, I know of at least 5 double-digit fish that have been caught from Lake Fork. A couple of them pushing the 13-pound range. Didn't quite make share lunker, but close. 12-3-1, an 11, let me see this picture that my friend sent me yesterday that he caught. And this is official weight brought to the marina, 11-13. And lost one today. My friend lost one today, same range. Here's the deal. It's live scoping, and the live scope's huge because you can find these fish as they're not staged, but they're in the mouths of these major tributaries, creeks, coves, pockets, the major ones. And they're suspending in open water and suspending above and in the treetops, just like they do at OHIV. But the cool thing is, again, last year was tough on all of us. There were big fish caught. But I believe this year we're going to turn the tables. The lake has stabilized and been full for quite a while. The vegetation that flooded last year that was hard to fish, a lot of cover that you couldn't get to, is gone. It's eroded away because it was mostly grasses and weeds and stuff. We're going to see a great season ahead of us. And so that's why I'm so excited. I got all my square bills out ready because these are my search baits. I just did a Let's Talk Fishing video about square bills in my Let's Talk Fishing channel. Everything from little 1.5s to the giant mega bass. But anyways, that's neither here nor there because I want to give you some information about Lake Fork. So with the rains, we exceeded full pool, and we actually got up to 403.27 at one of the high peak. And they have open gates, and yes, we're dropping. So from Monday to today we're 402.97, which is right at full pool. They're going to let it go down to 402.50, which is 6 inches below full pool. So they like to hold it this time of year because we have our rains coming in front of us. Generally, they'll let it kind of get about 6 inches over pool. The open gates lower it to 6 inches below full pool. Now, come around May, June, they won't do that. They'll hold the water. If it gets over pool and, into Mayish, somewhere in there by chance, they'll hold that. Right now, no rains, more rains, a lot more rains are coming. So they want that lake about 6 inches below full pool. It's actually gotten dirty in a lot of places. When they open the gates, the water, the pool from the gates pulls a lot of that dirty water out of the creeks into the main lake. There's been some high winds and stuff, so it's churned things up. So we've got loss of clarity, and that's okay. And here's why. Because number one, the dirtier the water is, the faster it warms up. Okay, and that's what we want. We need warm trend. Main lake is 48, 50 degrees, just about everywhere, kind of variation. Up in Williams Creek, for example, 55 degrees. Up in Birch Creek, you go far enough, you'll see 60 degrees. Now remember, that's just the subsurface temperature. That foot and a half of subsurface will warm up every day and cool down every day, depending on the type of weather we're having. So here's the thing. Full pool, spring's around the corner. We're not quite warm enough for that, get excited, go fishing the shallow bite type thing. Live scopers are definitely doing really well. If you're a live scoper, the next 4 weeks, you really should be spending your time out there in the mouths of the creeks, big drains, big bays, open bays, things like that, and finding those suspending fish because you can really, really do well, and you can find giant fish. I will tell you that jerk baits seem to be the best baits, but there's so many ways to approach those. Alabama rigs, some of the swim baits, whether it be line through swim baits or some of these different things like 6th Sense has that you fish. It's all up to you how you go about it. The key with the live scope is knowing how to use the live scope, knowing how to find the fish, and presenting the bait to the fish. In some cases, it's almost like making a basket in basketball. You have to throw the bait to the fish. One of my friends said he followed a fish around for 2 hours the other day, just kept circling back and forth, and finally hit it on the nose. When he hit it right perfect on the nose, she ate the bait. So live scoping is a deal. I would still suggest, now a lot of these fish make a move real quick, and what they do is they go right up the creeks, and they get in the creek swings adjacent to spawning flats and spawning grounds. That's the pre-staging, some of the pre-staging, staging areas, okay? It happens really, really fast. Like I said, birch is 60 degrees. The weather looks good the next 10 days. You really might be able to go start working your way up those creeks and find some of those fish that are positioning or beginning to position themselves near those spawning grounds, spawning flats. They're not going to be there yet, but they're getting close. They're hungry and they're gorging. So that's my gist. Never ever forget a spinnerbait this time of year. Great search bait. And of course, always a jig. A jig catches big fish. A jig catches pigs. That's the way it is. Black and blue's my best color. That's what I highly suggest. Okay. Before I go give you a crappie report about Lake Fork, I want to remind you that I do a members-only channel, a private members-only channel report as well. As soon as I finish videoing this public free video, I do a secondary video for the members only, and it's got a lot more detail in it. It has locations, it has exact, precise depths, colors of baits, presentations of baits, and it includes multiple other lakes from multiple other guides around the state. For example, today we're going to be doing Ray Hubbard, Palestine, Lake Ray Hubbard, Lake Palestine. We're going to be doing O.H. Ivy, Sam Rayburn, Lake Athens. We're going to talk about Tawakoni. We're going to talk about maybe a little bit of Lake Welsh. We're going to give you more information about other lakes, even Lake Laban over in mid-Dallas area. So if you want more information than you're getting from this public report, look below this video in the description part, and you'll see a link that says members only. Just click on the members only there, follow the procedure, upgrade your subscription. Love to have you over there. And trust me, the information you get there is far above and exceeds what you get here in the free subscription. Let's go ahead and give you the Lake Fork crappie with Jackie Wiggins. And by the way, normally I'm doing 2 reports a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They air out on Wednesdays and Fridays. With the cold snap and everything and the flooding, I've been kind of only doing 1 a week. But starting next week, we will have 2 videos a week once again. Jackie Wiggins says that Lake Fork hasn't really bounced back all the way from those cold snaps. That's also why I'm only doing 1 report a week. Fish are starting to stack up in some areas, but the lake is still fishing very small right now. You need to find the right area, and you can still load the boat. You can find some fish at almost every depth range in the lake, from 5 feet to 65 feet. That's crazy, because I'm hearing some of the same thing with bass. A lot of the bass are suspending in just open water in 5 feet, and you throw a bait at them, and they actually dive all the way to the bottom in 30, 35 feet. Water temps, again, are rebounding. Jackie says, to the 50-degree mark, which is what we want to see them get to 54, 55. The main lake gets 54, 55, and fishing turns on for everything. They'll bite almost everything if you can find them, Jackie says. But the key with the crappie right now is you have to be patient, and you have to drop it right on them. They won't chase it. They won't come get it. So you have to find the crappie. Again, there's a live scoping deal. Find the crappie and drop that bait right on them and hold it still. Don't shake it. Don't hop it. Don't bounce it. Hold it still. Dead stick the bait, and they will bite. You can catch them. Small hand-tied jigs and soft plastics are working well. Minnows are going to also help that a lot of times. Nothing better than a live heartbeat down there. But that's Jackie Wiggins, one of the best crappie guys I've known in my entire life. On Fork, still working hard every day, doubles and triples, and still pretty much not quite filling limits all the time because it's tough with the cold snap and the flooding that we had. But I'm seeing a lot of pictures. He's coming real close. He's putting a lot of fish on the table still, even in these tough conditions. So again, big shout out to all the sponsors: J-Hod Chevrolet, Skeeter Bass Boats, Diamond Sports Marine, Fred Barthold, Yamaha, Texas Insider Fishing Report, Captain Rick Murphy, Bree, Miss Florida, Abu Garcia, Berkeley, Power Pole, Bass Assassin, Bajío Sunglasses, Tight Lines UV, Lake Fork Trophy Lures, Impact Lures, Sand Tone Lures, Real Time Rods, Magic Reaction, Lake Fork Marina, Go Fish Lures, Steve's Custom Prop Shop, The Original Rod Socks, Sign Shop, Bernie Stump Lodge, Lake Fork Resort, Murphy's Law Sport Fishing down in Florida, Jamie's Restaurant, Oh My the Pie. Jamie's is right there in Lake Fork Marina. Don't forget, when you go in the marina, check out Lake Fork Store. The store is really awesome there. Tackle Co-op, which isn't up and running yet, but coming real soon. You're going to be able to get some cool finds at Tackle Co-op. It's a small business vending company that's going to show you a lot of small custom baits, whether it be topwaters, crankbaits, etc. like that. But Tackle Co-op. And Jamie's Jacked Up Designs, who's doing our shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, and all that stuff, which this year we will have more paraphernalia like that, maybe even some buffs. So, again, big shout out to everybody. Thumbs up if you like this. Comment below. Consider becoming a member. Look in the description. Follow the member process. Love to have you. See you there. And if you go fishing this week, be careful. It's still cold out there. Bring a buddy. Bring a change of clothes in case you fall in the water. And I hope you have a really successful time on the world-famous Lake Fork. I'm Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide.